we begin with breaking news. A stunning and historic vote in Britain. The decision to leave the European Union will have a profound impact on the economic, political, and social fabric of the world. Celebrations erupted overnight as the referendum results came in. It is a massive defeat for British Prime Minister David Cameron, who led the drive to remain in the EU. He announced this morning he will step down later this year.
Stock markets in Asia and Europe tumbled after the vote. Britain dropped nearly 5%, Germany almost 7%, and Japan about 8%. Wall Street expects a big loss when it opens this morning, too. We have a team of correspondents on both sides of the Atlantic covering this unfolding story. We begin with Mark Phillips. He's outside the Houses of Parliament in London. Mark, good morning.
Good morning. Well, it would be hard to overestimate both the shock and the consequences of this vote. The pound, as you say, has fallen like a rock, its largest ever single-day fall. The stock market has fallen off a cliff. And David Cameron, who led the campaign to stay in and who lost and who staked his whole career on this outcome, is gone.
But the British people have made a very clear decision to take a different path. And as such, I think the country requires fresh leadership to take it in this direction.
One by one, as the voting districts reported overnight, the shock started to come. People inside Manchester Town Hall cheered as their votes tallied up to leave. The scenes would be repeated across the country. The opinion polls had suggested a close race and even a narrow victory to stay in the EU. They were wrong. The City of London, the financial markets had bet on an in result as well. They were wrong. Only voters in London and Scotland favored staying. Elsewhere, people wanted out. And David Cameron, thoroughly defeated, felt he had only one option: to go.
I will do everything I can as Prime Minister to steady the ship over the coming weeks and months. But I do not think it would be right for me to try to be the captain that steers our country to its next destination.
Those who had argued to leave said the predictions of gloom was scaremongering. We'll see. The most recognizable face of the Leave campaign, Boris Johnson, was jeered as he left his house this morning. Others could barely contain their glee.
The June the 23rd needs to become a national bank holiday, and we will call it Independence Day. Thank you.
Both sides used fear in this campaign, fear of economic decline by those who argued to stay in, fear of being overwhelmed by immigration from the EU by those wanting out. And they won. In the face of all this turmoil, the Bank of England has stepped in to say effectively, take a deep breath, the economy can handle it. We'll see. Jeff?
Mark Phillips in London. Mark, thank you.